working abroad as a coach, and I think all of you have experienced that. That's why I as well invited you, and we should have a lot of different experiences, a lot of different opinions maybe as well. So I would, maybe today we don't start with Momir, then he always feels forced to it. What do you think are the real reasons that coaches decide to leave their home country? Is it career? Is it sometimes money? Is it the adventure maybe? You just want to try it outside, or is it something else? Or we would like to start, or I would like to start with you today.
Okay, good morning. I think that the answer as a Spaniard is a little bit easy. So we used to have here a great league 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe the best league in the world, or at the level, similar level as Bundesliga, but the last years, because of the financial problems, the league was down year per year. And for sure, if you have a chance to be more professional, to get a better salary, better conditions, I think that if you have an offer abroad for a team in France, in Germany, or maybe in Hungary, but you have to make the decision if you want to stay in Spain and have life quality, to be close to your relatives, or to go abroad and to have maybe a better project with more money to get better squad and better staff and better conditions, daily conditions to work, maybe to attend Champions League, European Handball League, or wherever, or to stay. So that's I think that's the main point. And in Spain we have very good national teams in the youth, and good national team in senior, but the league now is not the best of Europe. Maybe it's one of the 6 best leagues in Europe, but the salary conditions are not top, and because of that you have to think about this. I don't think that you have to do it 100%, but you have to think about it.
Brian, what was your reason?
Yeah, for me it was quite a coincidence, because I just went with my wife to Bietigheim because she was playing there, and I actually wanted to play for myself a little bit, but because of COVID, there was no team in the second, third Bundesliga who wanted me. So I started to train the under 18 team, women's team, because they were a lack of coaches. And then, the coach was fired in Bietigheim, Hannes at that point, and I actually was quite sure about they didn't find anybody to take the job, so they asked me. So for me, it was totally coincidence that I went into a professional coaching job. It was always a dream for me. So to go to Germany, that's also the reason why I learned German when I was young. It was because to have the opportunity to go to Germany to coach. But for me, it was quite coincidence. And I think in Denmark, even though then handball is a really big sport in Denmark, there are maybe 16 full-time jobs in Denmark as a coach. So if you want to go that way, I think you have to be ready to go abroad if there's the right chance. And for me, it was always the dream to live from the handball. I think there's many factors who can play into why you're doing it, why you should do it. But of course, it's different now when I have a family. There are a lot of factors who was playing in there. I was alone when I was in Coburg, and my wife was in Denmark. And I also think that was a quite hard time to leave the family, especially because as a coach, you don't have the same network as the players. You can't make friendships with the players. It's quite difficult in Germany to get friends or network outside of the handball, because they see you as a big authority. Quite different in Denmark, where when you're outside of the handball, you're just a human being. and that was really difficult for me to find a good network, and that meant also a lot of alone time. And I'm a really social guy. For me, I 100% say that was a really difficult for me. So for me, if I had to do it again, it will be probably with family in the long term of if I should do it again.
Momir, you were already in Vesprem, so it wasn't for you that you had to change countries. You already changed countries as player, but how was it for you? You had some plans maybe to move back to Serbia, or was it the right next step to make it in Vesprem?
No. Okay, for me it was easier, as you said, that I was playing now when I say or when I count, I'm 23 years out of country together when I was player and also as a coach, and of course now I'm a little bit not afraid to when I go home or how it will be, because it's the half of my life it's I'm more outside, and this is the normally, and we adapt very fast as a family. Also we have our one son, and also it's for him it's good because at the moment he's 10 years old and he can speak 4 languages. This is fantastic for him, but to move every time it's not easy. This is the for a family. We were as a player, I was 6 years as a player in Vesprem, and then after that I was altogether 5 years or more, I think 7 years as a coach, and with the youngs in Vesprem. That means this is okay. But then after that, here in Germany, of course, it's not easy. And
So for you, leaving home is going to Germany more than being in West.
Europe, let's say like this, we cannot adapt anymore in Serbia. This is a little bit, maybe I'm not a right person for this question, but for us it's, let's say we go Serbia like a tourist, and here it's our life. Or normally when we come back from Serbia, we are tired, because it's always, it's not the holiday time, but actually, this is what Brain said. It's a problem with the family. If you move completely, my son or with the kids, they get older and then they have some friends, and then they have to change the school. It's not easy. I can say it's not easy situation, but this is our life. And also, I cannot imagine like now that I go somewhere to work as a coach without family. All my life we were together, and first of all, it's not only the say it's a family, and then after that, coach life. This is how I'm thinking.
Roi, when you came to Germany, what hit you first? The culture, the language, training habits, mentality of the people, mentality of the player, or all together?
Difficult question. For us, I'm a Latin guy from Spain, and the shock between Spain and Germany is really big. It's really big. At the beginning, I didn't speak German. My first year in Germany, my English was okay, B2. So the first certificate also not so high, because when you are studying a language, you can be in front of the computer and you can answer the tests, but afterwards you have to speak by yourself and to confront a lot of issues that in your lifetime you don't have in your country, and to solve a lot of problems and to be frustrated. For example, I have my first year in Germany, I have sometimes you have problems with people. You have one opinion and the other people or the other person has another opinion, and you have to explain yourself in another language, not in your mother language. And you go home and you are really frustrated. And for me, it was really the hardest point, to be alone at home and to be frustrated because you didn't find the right words and you didn't defend yourself. And that was for me the toughest point, for sure.
Brian, you have the same opinion like Roi, no, or the same experience.
Yeah. I probably a lot of people say I speak really, really good German. But in Coburg, there's Jan Gore. He's a really, really big figure in Coburg. I've been there for 14, 15 years, was a successful coach as 7-8 years for the team, promoted within the first Bundesliga. Then he was Geschäftsführer, director, and he's really, really strong in words and communication on German. And then when you come as a foreigner and has to discuss some things with him where you are not agreeing with how the things has been doing in the past, like Roi said, really frustrating, because I often came out of the room or the meeting room, I didn't say what I 100% wanted to say. So I really, really agree in this point. Even though you speak good German, it's just something different than your native language, because there are so many nuances into that than when you speak your own language.
Momir, for you, the cultural part. I mean, you were in Kiel as a player, then left, came back to Germany. But I imagine the culture in Wetzlar is different than culture in Kiel, and the culture for you as a coach is as well different than the culture for you as a player when you were in Germany.
Well, okay, yes. Okay, what means culture? Culture, it's in German, it's the same. I think, okay, it's only because of, I think, quality of the players different. Also, if you see that the habits of the players, it's different in the Kiel or let's say in Wetzlar. And we as a coaches, we have to immediately or as soon as possible that to recognize what is good for these players and to, let's say, to adapt. This is my always a question. I am thinking always about this adaptation, how we coaches can adapt to culture. What, for example, it's in Denmark, in Germany, or in Spain. And this is, I had luck that I was working or playing with a lot of different cultures, multiculti, let's say, at the moment in the Europe. In one team, you cannot have only German players or let's say only Denmark players or Spain. You have one mix, and this is more problem or a more difficult problem for us coaches, how we can put this in one team. And for me, I was 2 days ago watching Berlin and West-Brem. West-Brem has a different also cultures, Egypt, Spain, Spain, Scandinavian, French. It's a lot of mix in West-Brem. In Berlin, it's more or less German, but it's also some players from different cultures as well. This is always the structure. And my question is for two guys, all for Spain and for Denmark. What I want to ask, and I was preparing and I was thinking how I can ask, because Brainy, the last 2 times you were missing, and now we can discuss about this topic. First of all, how can you explain me, or how can we help for this question? How do you see the different in Denmark, in Scandinavia, different between freedom and responsibility? How do you prescribe this?
Freedom and what?
For example, in the one game, in one figuration. Okay, we play this figuration, and you have freedom. I don't push you. You have to play, but you cannot shoot only after 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? In this.
I understand, and that's I'll finish.
Yeah. I will ask something.
That's really interesting, because I had this discussion a lot with some German coaches, and I think really it starts in the youth, in the culture, because we have a German coach, Lars Mülling, who is video analyzing GOG, and he has been youth coach in Germany, in Kiel, I think, in Hamburg, and then he come to Skanderborg on the academy there, and he was like, why are they not training? They they play and then they drink a little bit of water. In Germany, they're like every minute has to be planned. You know, we need then a throwing exercise. We need next minute we have to have a purpose with that. And he was like, that's not good coaching. But in Denmark, there's like, I think they're playing just handball. It's not always so structured. It's not so planned. They just play 3 against 3, 4 against 4 without the big constraints in the exercise. But they play, you know, every training they play on 2 goals. In Germany, some of my players was surprised. Are we playing on 2 goals Monday, Tuesday, Thursday? Yes, of course. It's what's handball about. It's to play on 2 goals. It's to run, to take decisions when your pulse is high, when you have to consider the other players, what they are doing. And that's just what we are learning from we are 8 years old or when you're starting to play. It's always on 2 goals. It's always freedom and not so much now we want this in this exercise. Now we want to play like this when we do Jugo or what it can be. Do you not understand what I mean? So I just think it's really a culture part, how you train and how you are raised in as a handball player in Denmark. And a lot of youth coaches in Denmark, you have in Germany, you have this Leistungszentrum where every coach is full time and so on, really good conditions. But Denmark, the youth coaches, they have full time jobs, so they can sometimes they come just 30 minutes before the training and just now we were just playing. And I think that's a really good thing, and why we see so many Danish player is good in this free play, if you understand what I mean. Yeah.
No, I mean, okay, it's a freedom. It's okay. This is the kind of culture in the game. But now it's what is different between freedom and responsibility?
Yeah.
How you manage this?
Yeah, but I just mean.
Okay, I can allow you that you make 10 mistakes.
Yeah, I understand. That's not something we want as a coach, but I think in Denmark the coaches don't have a purpose to say now we have we go for Jugo and now we have 3-4 situations we want. I think they just let them play and then say, okay, could you maybe go more to the right, go more to the left, or pass? Where I think in Germany, what I experienced was always like, you have to do this, and this. We want this, and this, instead of let the player decide. And out of this outcome, we just see how we can correct that. If you feel,
I understand you. This is okay. This is a free game. Let's say like this. Yeah. But freedom, I mean also that you don't have this pressure. I don't push you. But also from one side, you have to have a responsibility. You have to respect the team. You have to respect the situation. What we said in the game. This is what I want to ask you. How you manage this? This between.
Yeah, for me, it's like we have a frame where we are working out from, and if they go outside this frame, then we have to put them back into the frame. That's how I see it. I think you can work with errors which are okay and mistakes which are not okay. Of course, if you get a good chance and you miss the shot, okay, that's okay. But if we're saying okay, we can accept that you lose to a right side or left side, and then you do the opposite, that's something I never can accept. So that's how I work, and I think a lot of Danish coaches are working to have a clear frame, and inside of the frame the players are free to do what they want, as long it's inside this direction you want as a coach. But do I come outside of the frame, then we have to put them back into the frame you want.
Okay, thank you so much. And Roi, for you, because Damir, I took your position.
No, it's going in a different direction, but it's as well interesting.
I have a lot of questions and some words also to complete this really great discussion.
Yeah.
Because so I remember my days also in Germany with Scandinavian players, and after hearing Brian, I think I can understand better players like Morten Olsen or Sebastian Agustinusen or whatever, because The question of Momir is great. So how long do you respect the system, and how long you don't lack the skills, the individual skills of the player in order to win games? But at the end of the day, you want to win games, no? And for example, Berlin Veszprem from Wednesday, and you see Berlin, and if you see how Berlin plays with empty switch, or just a switch, or just a one-on-one isolation, one-on-one, easy, very fast, humble, easy concepts. I think very Scandinavian concepts, yeah? And now you see Veszprem, very elaborated. The win here, then afterwards out, and then one cross here, one empty switch in the other side, and in this moment, bam, the line player is there. No? You think both styles are similar level, Final Four Champions League, or almost Final Four Champions League, so draw at the end of the day. But Veszprem has Yugo players, or Spanish coach, or Egyptian players, and you have to, as a coach, you have to lead these players with a little bit less chaos, accept less chaos, because they need sometimes direction. But if you have Gitzel, Anderson, and so on, or Morten Olsen, or Arnoldsen, or Juric Noss even, maybe you have to give this freedom to these players because they are used to play like this. So you have to get now Arnoldsen in Veszprem, and it's difficult to lead Arnoldsen as a way as you lead Sindrich, because he's not used to be so strict in tactical. I think that's my point. And the second point, and that's a question for Brian. Okay, the way of lead a Danish team in the youth. Okay, that's great. So you have you can do 4 against 4, and you run 2 goalies and so on, and to accept some mistakes, and other mistakes don't accept. But the question is, how do you coach? How do you practice the technique? How do you correct the technique? What's okay and what's not okay?
Yeah, but that's also what I really discussed a lot also with some German coaches, where because I saw in Coburg great youth coaches and so on. You have to have the arm high. You have to put it like 90 degrees or whatsoever. Where I just see in Denmark, we don't talk about it. We just accept everybody's different, that everybody is different. So we just like, okay, if you want to throw like this, then it's okay. Okay, there's some totally how do you say things where we have to correct it, but I just think we are a little bit organic into say we have to get them to work what's work for you, and not think about you have to have high arm or something like this. But that's what I'm saying. We are not like, and now you make feint against air body. No, we are making feints against a real defense, because sometimes the defense is high, sometimes the defense is low, but we never put an air body to make feints, for example. We put everything together, so you have to make a feint, and then you have to make the right decision to make the pass, and so on. And that's, I think, they're doing well in Denmark. They every time play handball. They not put some part element into the exercise where we just only make throwing, but every aspect in the game is into the exercise, and that's complete different from Germany. It's in my experience. I don't know if you can recognize that, Roy.
You don't correct. Let's say you don't correct this kind of technique. You don't have this kind of correction. We game back. It's again freedom. Pass, and then, or how you practice with a high.
We correct, but I also really accept that everybody is different, because I think every jump shot from if you see Djukic Noah compared to Prier are completely different. So we accept that that I don't think there's a perfect way to throw, for example.
Do you put
if-
constraints, some constraints in it so that,
Yeah.
that they have to change things up?
Yeah, for sure. We have constraints into it. Then maybe it can be 2.5 against 3, if you understand what I mean, or something like this. But I'm not so obsessed with that the arm should be high or should low, because I just think, as I said before, there's nothing like a perfect technique, in my opinion. I don't know, how do you see it, Momir or Roi?
I have to tell, I saw 3 years ago, I saw in Barcelona, I saw Tsikusha, the brothers, the training with the youth, and Petar, he has his arm like here sometimes when he passes, and I said to myself, he has to correct his technique, otherwise he won't come to the top, never. And then like 6 months or 9 months later, he's playing against Montpellier, and he's putting these bombs out from the arm here, and then you think, I don't have any idea why should I correct some guy, or because his arm is sometimes here or his arm is sometimes here, when he can. But it's hard for my mind, if I see the arm here or something like this, it's hard for me to think, I should correct him. He should have the elbow here.
But I just think it's also, sorry, Damir,
No.
a little bit of coincidence, because when Mikkel Hansen came, he was it's just the wrist and the underarm, and then everybody started to throw like this in Denmark because he did it. So I think also there's some coincidence in because I think Denmark has a rumor or Scandinavian players has a rumor have really good passing technique, and I think Mikkel influenced that really, really huge, because everybody started to throw like him, with the screw technique. So yeah, I think also there's a little bit of coincidence into that, and I don't think everybody somebody was talking about that this technique was the right technique at that point.
Do you, or one more question? Sorry. It's true that you take air out of the ball that they cannot bouncing in some kind of exercises?
No, but they take a lot of air out of it so they can hold into the ball better. And I don't know if that's the same in your countries, but in the youth they play with this soft balls who can't bounce, but they can hold into the ball.
Okay, good.
Like Tom Brady a little bit, put air a little bit out so he can.
Yeah.
I know. We play a lot of many times against the Flensburg and the Danish players. That was last week at that time. Eger.
Yeah.
This. He has always this. I don't know how to say. Always to take care out. And that was. It was the ball like this. You cannot. We are not. In Yugoslavia at that time they were full with air, and it's like basketball. We were fighting always to catch this ball.
Yes, I want to say something also, because Brian said that they are not practicing with air bodies and make fints against air bodies. And I think that's a point of discussion. Okay, we are all 2 Yugos, 1 Danish and 1 Spaniard. But if we have a German guy here, maybe we can discuss with him, because it's really usual in Germany to watch practices of the youth, and they are taking 20 minutes, making one-on-one against air bodies or shoots against air bodies. And for me, it was also a shock. I went to Germany, and in Spain, we're really obsessed with the decision making, like in Yugoslavia, like in Balkan countries, decision making. And we are always planning our practices with a lot of decision making, maybe less physical aspects, or even less technical topics, but a lot of decision making. 3 against 2, 4 against 3. Here, no bouncing in order to make decision in 1 second. The technique is not very important, as Brian said, in Denmark, but the decision making is on top. And you go to Germany, you go abroad, and you see such of practices.
against air bodies, or 5 against 0, or something like this. And for me, that's a no-go. I think I told you guys in the past, also in the first podcast, in the first meeting, Damir. So for me, it's not go. So you have to, okay, the technique maybe is not so important as people think of the Russian style in the 80s set, but the decision making in handball, specific exercises in practices, I think that's very, very important. So if you want smart players, make something like 3 against 0 with air bodies and so on. I think it's not the cleverest thing in the world, my opinion. Maybe that's not popular, but it's my opinion.
Maybe just the Germans can afford these air bodies for the youth because they're expensive, and maybe other teams can't afford them, so they don't put them. And
no, it doesn't make a sense. I think this air body, it's if for me, I will use something if make a sense, but it's all you can sometimes use maybe if you don't have enough players. This is only the kind, but to take as a main exercise with their bodies, I'm also agree with you, and I don't think so. It's good for us coaches to use this.
Roi and Brian, how was it for you coming back from Germany to your country? So Roi, you were like 7 or 8 years, I think, in Germany, and then coming back to Spain, and for Brian, from you as well, from Germany back to Denmark. Did other people notice a change in you? Were they maybe calling you, you're now the German guy, you bring something back? How was this? Roi, when you came back to Spain?
Yes, for sure. Because in 2 ways, I would say, in 2 ways. Way one, in the tactical handball topic. I think that in Spain, the Spanish system, it's a lot bounce, 1-on-1, 2 against 2 with line player, static line player, crosses and so on. And the North Europe style is more empty switches, less bouncing, more shots from 9 meters. So that's the way one. And I also like such things. So integrate both systems. But for sure, the physical aspects. So spend really time to make fast and powerful players. And in Spain, we have a lack of willingness to make such players in the youth. So for us, if you have 1 hour practice in your hall, you have to make 100% handball. If you take a professional team in Liga Sobal or the second league, and you ask the players to make a double session a day, so morning training, so fitness and so on, and afternoon handball, it's okay. And if you ask the players to make handball, and handball is also okay, but in Germany it's no go. So if you go to Germany and to ask Germans, okay, we make two times handball today, they think that you are crazy, because for them it's the importance is the same: the physical aspects, the physical topics, and the handball topics. And I came back to Spain with this both European ways in order to integrate also in my teams.
Brian?
Yeah, difficult question. I think I don't think there's so big change, but I, of course, I took some discipline with me from Germany. I think maybe German people are the most disciplined people in the world. A lot of players, they could train a lot, I think, without asking questions, and that's, I think, something I took with me. This willingness to train and to be disciplined and do what the coach said. I try to give that a little bit to my players and say, yeah, freedom is good and casuality, but some kind of discipline we need to get the result we want. So yeah, I took for sure some of the discipline and organization, how they organize thing outside of the court with me to Denmark for sure. And I wanted to ask, how did you, Momir, the experience from Kiel to Veszprém, how was this, or from Veszprém to Wetzlar? How was the change there?
Yeah, differently, of course. It's different as a player. Normally it's okay, Bundesliga, the best league on the world. Absolutely. This is when you have at that time from Kiel, we were always fighting for a title, fighting for a Champions League, for Final Fours. It's a lot of matches in the year, and let's say with the national team and with the Bundesliga and with the Champions League, you have some matches was around 80 in the season, and then it's in the high quality. It's also, if you go to Ballingen, you lose the match and you lose the Meisterschaft, you lose the championship. This is different, and and also if you move to Hungarian league, it's much easier. For me, was these changes from strong situation to the easy situation much easier and very good. It's only different which person you are, how you can fast adapt to this culture. For me, it was very good, these changes, and I was honestly with the Spanish coaches in that time, first time in my life. It was a little bit different to compare with the Icelandic coaches or with the Balkan coaches, but was good changes, and I was adapting fantastic because I had the good players with me, and that was really, really good. After that, I became a coach, and this is different. This is different. This is the different situation because I got as a coach directly one of the best team in the Europe, let's say, or 5, and then it's different. And then after Veszprém, I go to Wetzlar. You were also here, and you understand me. This is different because it's Wetzlar is fighting more or less always to stay in the league, and it's fighting every year, and the budget and the quality, and this is difficult situation. And from this point of view, I can say maybe it was not good decision for me, but if I not see this, I cannot now speak about this situation. And I think it's both sides, it's positive or negative. But I will say now at this moment, it's for my knowledge, it's more positive. For my situation, maybe it's negative, but for knowledge as a coach, and maybe one time in one day I will use this, because in Germany, what I see, Bundesliga is strong, as I said, but what I see how it's important leadership. It's not only tactic. They have defined it. It's not only tactic attack here, and you have here block at the same time. No, but leadership, how you manage these people. And I was working, I had this luck with the Spanish, with the Yugo, with the Scandinavian coaches. And now I can see that this is tactic. It's not a question. You can build your tactic, but leadership, it's most important, how you lead the players. I see this. And last time, me and Damir were talking with Jordi also. It's also for me fantastic to see how in Spain, for example, now we come back to next, but Roi can answer us how in Spain they build the players, teach the players, that they come and they're thinking always as a team, not like individual players, but always as a team. Do you work in this way, or how it's in the youth, or how you or control the ego? Let's say like this. Of course, it's ego. It's always inside. How you control in Spain ego with your players?
That's a good question, a difficult question, Momir. So I think that maybe it's a matter of culture. No? I think that in North Europe we can find people who are a little bit more individualist, as in South Europe, if you ask me.
That's maybe the answer of this question, because the society in Germany, and I think also in Scandinavia, maybe Brian can tell something better than me in this point, but I think that you have success if you had great work, you got a great salary, and you can work maybe the whole day and also weekends, but at the end of the year you have a good bonus, you can go holidays, you can buy a car, a great car. I think in South Europe we have less chances to make this dream, or this American dream, real, and maybe you have to support ourselves in this direction, and the society is maybe not too individualist and more society, more for me and for you and for family. And I think in the teams you can find such environments, because normally normal teams, this soul is inside of the team, but I think that is the culture, that is the society, I think. But it's a difficult one, Momir. Really difficult.
Yeah, I
one.
know.
Maybe I think I should think further about this answer. But as you ask me, cold, I can say like this.
Yeah, okay, because it's I had this situation with a lot of Spanish players, and they're for a group. They're actually for a group, and probably came from something. It's not. It's also individual situation, but it's came from some culture or some training, and this is like in Scandinavia. You can say they have always Spaß, always Spaß. In German they say Spaß, but I don't think so that they have Spaß. But in Scandinavia, they have always this joke, freedom, as you said. We don't correct, we just game, let's play. In Spain, you can see this culture, for example, that they are okay. They teach them what I recognize it. They teach them, okay, these guys in better chance, and I give you pass. In Balkan, you have to force this because we are different. Always it's depend which players, individual. But in Spain, it's what I recognize it always. This guy is in better position. I give you. This is different with the others. Probably, as Roi said, it's in this situation you said, or you analyzing, we can only have success with this kind of behavior. I don't know, probably.
I can tell you that we are not working these coaching elements more than in North Europe. I think less, because it's typical in Germany that a team is not performing well, and everyone says, das ist eine Kopfsache. Also, you need to ask a psychologist if he can help the team, because it's not a handball problem, it's the mindset of the players and so on, and they invest money on this, and a coach came to the training and make an evaluation and ask about interviews and meetings with the players and so on and so on. But in Spain, we are not doing this. And I think that the people have more commitment. I can think so. But also, if you compare to the Balkans, I think that the Balkans are a little bit also more individualist, but also for the past, also for the war, and also for these things, because for you guys was really tough to come ahead and to have a good future. And you have in your past, you had to fight more than us, and 100 times more than a German guy.
Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, but maybe Momir should finish that then because it's something completely different.
No, I just want to tell from my experience. When I came to Spain, you have the word this cariño. This, and you can feel it. It's how would you? There is an English word for cariño. It's, I don't know. It's not hospitality, but the people are nice. They try to be nice to each other, and as a group. In Spain, you kiss an old woman when you see her the first time on the cheek. So it's you have this unity in The only problem in Spain is when you come as a foreigner, they don't speak English and you can't talk to them, but you feel something already in the group. Like Momir says, they have in Germany, you have this, you drink beer after the training, everybody's together, but it's not the same feeling. It's not this, it's not the same like it was for me in Spain, where you felt that people want to help you. When I came there as a young guy, there were other young guys in the team with my age, but you had the feeling, hey, they're happy that you're here, they're happy that to help you, that you improve. And I don't know, it was something different. Like we didn't have to do a lot to have a good team chemistry. And in Yugoslavia, you have this, how you say it, you don't sell if you pass the ball. It's hododo nije se prodao. So you don't get a contract if you pass the ball. You get you get money for making goals, and it's this individuality that maybe Roi was talking about. Brian, please come back to what you wanted to say.
Yeah, but it's funny what you said there, because I actually played 1 year in Montenegro in Ilić, because my wife played for Budućnost, and that's, imagine how difficult it is to be a Danish guy to come to this. This was so difficult, but really good experience to see how different culture we are, because it was like this. I want to make 10 goals so I can go abroad. So that that was a really good experience, man. But that can we talk about another time. Momir, you talked about leadership, how important that is, and that's also, I think, how important that is to develop this as a coach and feel, confidence that you have trust from the board to develop this, because if you go to Germany, everybody know first, second Bundesliga, you have to deliver. You can lose 4 games and then you're out in Germany, and that's maybe, I think, my mistake was I hadn't developed my leadership. I wasn't 100% sure how I wanted to be as a coach. But here in Denmark, you feel more trusted. You have more confidence to develop. You can try things about your leadership. And that's, I think, really important as a coach, that you give yourself your time where you can be 2, 3, 4 years to develop your leadership, and then maybe go out so you're more sure about how you want to do things as a leader. And that's something I lacked when I was in Coburg, for sure. Now I had 3, 4 years to develop this. I feel free, how I feel trusted. I can do, if I have a good idea, I can do this. And not, I think in Germany, everything is very serious. Every time you lose a game, you have to analyze it. I read, now we have to analyze the whole season. What did we do right and wrong? And that's, of course, we have to do this. But I just think in Denmark, we're more like, okay, we trust the path we were going. Then we see after half year. But in Coburg, it was everything has to be analyzed. Every training, every game, and that's, I think, then it's difficult to also develop your leadership if you are constantly afraid of to lose your job. That's just, I think, is really important, that you also train your leadership.
No, absolutely. I think this is important. For me, most important part. Okay, tactic, it's important, but how you lead the players, or one team. This is some let's say like a Kunst, what they say in German, and this is what makes different between coaches.
Exactly.
Of course, it's not only one thing that, okay, one success or unsuccess was only because of this. Maybe in one season you can have a lot of injuries. Maybe you can have a bad team, bad season, bad schedule. You cannot manage it. You know how it's in Bundesliga. You start a very bad season. You have, I don't know, if you have 15 plays and then start pressure and more pressure. It's very difficult to stop. But I think this is important. Anywhere, if we want to lead one team, we have to learn about this. And this is something that is, for me, psychological. It's important, of course. In one case, when we analyze also this game on Wednesday, Wednesday, Veszprém and Berlin Veszprém. It's also one psychological part important. Why it was so tough after 6 goals leading. If we see, how I see this situation, for example, Berlin was in minute 20, was leading by 6, empty goal, missing this empty goal, and start mistake by mistake. Veszprém came in the halftime 2, and then after that was mental advantage on the Veszprém side. They play fantastic second half to compare with the first 20 minutes. They start the goalkeepers to save 3 penalties, more pressure on the Berlin side. They play this at home, but this home advantage is not that much. And for me this is how I'm thinking, how I see the coach situation in this moment. That's why I was asking you what means about the freedom. If you have 6 to go to 7, or not from 6 to go to 3. And this is leadership in one case, and this is to recognize situation, how you have to react. Do we manage the people? One more question, it's to all of you. Do we manage the people in Scandinavia and Spain? Always it will be fine, it will be good, or you manage how he can accept this critic? Do you understand me by leadership? Roi, do you understand me, what I mean? You manage, you see the situation, you recognize. And mistake, let's think about mistake. For me, it's interest. Okay, you see the mistake. This guy did mistake from fear, did mistake from ego, or lost his focus.
Momir has hard questions.
I'm ready, guys.
He has to send us the questions before.
Yes, I think that so I have players, and now I have in Spain also players that because you were making the question, and immediately in my mind came the 3 players I have here with such problems, and I think you too, and Brian also, right? Because it's normal. Personalities, but the kunst, the art is that as a coach, you recognize these situations, these 3 situations, and you can manage and you can work together with these 3 different personalities. Yeah? That's our work. And as you said before, Momir, nowadays, as you said in the Bundesliga, but the thing is, nowadays is in the whole Euro, in whole handball world, in the whole sport world, and also in the companies. So this leadership thing is changing. It's different now. And we read. You open LinkedIn and you read the whole time. We need leaders, not bosses. Okay, but that's a super phrase, but it's difficult to explain what that means. And I think the experience is very important for us, especially if you go abroad, because to lead a German team in the Bundesliga is completely different as to lead a team in Montenegro or in Spain or in Portugal or in Argentina. It's completely different because of the people. It's different and what they think and how high the salaries are and the pressure and the sponsors. And it's very important also was what Brian said about the analyze in Germany. If you go abroad and you go to Germany and or maybe in France also, I don't have experience in France, but maybe also a huge league like this, but this obsession from analyzing everything, I think if you make this every day, you are losing your focus in the path, in what you want to go. And for us as a coaches to lose also this focus. If you are such pressure, if you change your family to go abroad and to live in another country, to change the school of your kids, the job of your wife, and so on, this pressure is a sport pressure, but also the family pressure, and both things together, and to have this pressure also to analyze and to explain to the sponsors every week what's going on and why do you lose the game So that's really tough. That's difficult, and because of that, the Bundesliga is so hard. Because of that, it's really difficult. And if you don't have a big name like me, it's even more difficult because you don't have this back on your side.
That's what I also meant. I think what would happen if you lose 3 games in a row and your director go into the locker room and say, guys, we are supporting Roi or Brian 100%. I think there could come something really, really strong out of that, because then you would manage those players who are speaking in the corners when they're not playing. Okay, they have to support to the coach, so we will not get fired. But if you come out of this crisis together as a team, as a coach, then I think that can really, really create something magically, because then, you know, okay, we can lose, but we can go into a good path, even though. And that's something I missed when I was in this situation, that you got some support from your boss and telling the guys, hey, we support Brian, we believe in his thoughts and so on. And that's thing I really as difficult in Germany, because it's always analyze and speak about how can we solve this problem, instead of maybe just saying, okay, it will be all right, you know, some kind of way mentality.
Oh, I have a friend who is a sporting director in a club, and a smaller club, and he backed up his coach. Oh, he wasn't happy with the work. He said but he went in and told the players, nothing comes over the coach, nothing will happen to the coach. We have to go out as a team, or some of you won't be here next year. And that helped a lot. And I think this would help every coach in handball and every sport, but it's not realistic. And like Momir told about different players, I think in handball the staff is so small, and you have this player, you have this player, you have this player. I was listening to a podcast yesterday with Michael Johnson, and he told that for him it wasn't like every race is the same race. It's just 100 meters. His focus was always, no, it's not the same race if I race in European, not European, World Championship or a meeting or the Olympic Games. It will be a different race, and he was prepared for it. And the other guy, he's a coach, psychological, and he said he worked with athletes and with this mentality and with the other mentality, like every race is the same and it works both ways. But he has to establish in the beginning of the work, okay, do you want me to work with you as every race is the same race, or do you want to work with every race, not every race is the same race? And we have players that need every race is the same race, and we have players that need, no, this race doesn't matter, but next week we play for our life. But when we are alone or we have a second coach, you can't deal with 16 players and make this talk. You have to find some in between. And when we get older, it's way easier. In the beginning of the career is what I think. If I think every day is is the same, I will go like this. And if I think no, this is the final, and if we lose this, our lives will end, then I talk like this. And then with experience, hopefully you change maybe. This is really, really hard to do it. One last question.
No, one thing.
Yes, please.
Sorry, Damir. So again, regarding the German Bundesliga. Sorry for the Germans today. We are killing them. And it's the league in the world. Is a dream for every single coach to work in the Bundesliga. But it's very strong, and you have to control another topic that in another countries are not so important, like in Germany. And these are the environment of the sponsoring and the VIP rooms and such small talks with the sponsoring, because if you go abroad and you work in the first Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, I think that you have to be a little bit politic every day and explain yourself very good to the sponsors. But because sometimes you guys are talking about the supporting of the technical director, for example, or the manager, the Geschäftsführer or whatever. But these guys maybe have a good knowledge of sport and can understand everything, but they have also pressure. And these sponsors are killing them every day and pushing them to make maybe decisions that they know they don't agree, you know. And in order to control such fires and such wars, you have to be a little bit political also, and that's not so easy for us because we are coaches, we are not political.
You are right, Roy, and I just not cut you. I just want to be with you and speak because and especially now I'm listening a lot timeouts, but it's on the way politic way. Hey, we are doing this because of this explanation, and they want also, okay, now players, okay, what do you think? And then players start, and then the coaches thinking also about the sponsoring, about the media, and about the fans. How they say, how they introduce, this is what is for me new. I don't say everybody, but a lot of coaches, it's political. How they say in the media, how they say in the press conference, it's everybody, it's wow, politic. But it's became slowly everywhere.
Just a last question, Damir, if it's okay.
Yes, of course.
But Roy and also Momir, how, as Roy, I know the Schweikarts are a strong family in TFB Stuttgart, and I think the topic in Denmark, there's a lot about to leading up, you know, to the director, to bosses and sponsors and so on. How was that in Stuttgart to deal with that? Because I know Schweikarts have a big influence on the club or had in the past, and I could imagine they also want to control a lot. How was that?
For me, it was a really good experience to work together with them, especially with Jürgen and Michael. Really good experience. But I was telling you guys this thing about sponsors and so on because my situation in that time in Stuttgart, I think that Jürgen was not 100% agree to change the coach, but the sponsors push him to make this. And I can understand this situation because the sponsors don't know the daily work that you are making there, if you are analyzing or not, if you are working 100%, if you had injuries or the ball went to the post or the referees make a decision against you. For them, that's not important. And maybe Jürgen in that time, or maybe the manager of Wetzlar in that time with Momir, they don't agree to fire the coach, but they have so high pressure behind that they have to make it. Otherwise, they are also out, you know. And that's the point. And you have to be in the middle, sailing with the wave, and in order to get the things under control. And also the pressure of the players, because we are talking always about the pressure on top, but you have also the pressure on down. Your players are pushing you to make a decision. The experienced players, the captain, wherever, the Germans supporting another Germans. So it's really difficult, and you are in the middle, and you have to make good decisions, and you have to be yourself. Be yourself. For example, Xabi Alonso in Real Madrid. Maybe that's a good example. Xabi Alonso couldn't be himself. He wanted to have everyone
compromising.
Happy.
It's always problem.
Yeah, everyone happy and everyone okay. I have my idea, but okay, if I have make this decision, Vinicius is going to be mad against me, or Mbappe, or wherever. And that's really difficult. But at the end of the day, you are going to be fired, and you have to be yourself. Otherwise, you go home 100% frustrated.
No, bravo. This is fantastic topic. Damir, sorry, but this is fantastic topic to compare with the football. And I'm talking a lot with the football coaches, because what became in the handball, let's say in Bundesliga, but also the other countries, if you start to lose, our job, our position is not so stable. But it's not only that sport director, manager of the club. It's also media start to write. Like now, for example, in Hanover, they start to count. For Pastor. Pastor is great coach, but they start to lose a game, lose a game, lose a game, lose a game. Same situation was with me. Even, the kind of one name, they want to see you. If, if you not let one guy, every coach in one match has a lot of mistakes. It's only the situation how, as you said, how you speak with the media, how you send the messages to supporters. It's absolutely big deal, important for a coaches. I think my question was also before, what is important, this leadership or tactic now at the moment? Well, last time we spoke with Jordi, and he said multiculti became all the world. In Japan, they play Yugo, 101. I don't know. In Germany, everywhere, there is no something new in the handball. But how we manage the game, how we manage this game outside the court, this is also important. Or I think most important. And especially we have to work, not if it's good moment. We have to work for a bad moment in the one season.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
I think the best moment for last month was Gislason taking the timeout in this game. I don't know against who were. Serbia. Yes, Juric Nor got. He was. You see that he is not even watching the game. He's watching at the clock, and he takes the timeout when Juric Nor, before Juric Nor shoots, and he makes the goal, and everybody is killing him. Like, how can he make this timeout before this shoot, before this goal? And it's like you think, but if he misses, no, everybody says he's the greatest genius, and they wanted to kill him for this. And you just even see he's not watching the game; he's watching the clock to take it after the how you say it, when the 6 players come in, so that he uses his time bet. And the media can destroy you; they can kill you. I'm happy that I work in such a small club where there is almost no media, and we compare sometimes the coaches in football, but I think this stress, what they have to deal with media, and every day they have to do these press conferences, this and this and this. It's incredible where they go through their managers. They are not coaches. That's why they call them in England managers. And some do it great, some lose their job there. And I'm happy that I don't have to do these interviews, because I think I'm not such a good politician. I would have lost my job already with against the media 10 times. But for the end, I would like to ask you one thing that's maybe really important for coaches. How do you deal with the loneliness that you have as a coach that you never experience as a player when you come to a new club and when you come to a new city where you are maybe alone, or just with your family, or even alone without your family? How difficult is this, and how difficult is it to get a support system in the new city where you're working? Brian.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think you have to be a special character to do that alone. For me, I maybe could do it from some certain of time, but for sure, if I go abroad again, it has to be with my family. There's no doubt, because I think there are so many lone hours, especially when you have lost and you come home to an apartment where there is nobody. The walls are talking to you. You're analyzing everything, what you could have changed, what you could have done differently. So I think it's really, really crucial to have to get some energy from people who don't have anything to do with handball. That's also why I came back to my hometown, because to get friends outside of the handball again, to play paddle with friends, to take a beer and so on, because then I'm a better coach when I get new energy from other environments. So I think you really have to be a special character if you can do that for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, to be alone abroad. That's for sure. So I don't really have the answer how you do it, because I was also pretty lonely when I was alone in Coburg.
And Roi, I think you're now alone. Your family is in Galicia.
Yes, in Germany we went together to Germany and to Burgos also, but this thing from Alicante came in November, and Gaia was already in school, so we didn't change her at the school. Well, they are coming in summer, and I completely agree with Brian. It makes no sense to make this alone. Makes no sense, especially if you have young kids. If my daughter were, I don't know, 11, 12 years old or whatever, maybe Momir has more experience, but maybe it makes more sense to go special to Arabian country or to Egypt or so on. Maybe it makes sense to go alone. But in Europe and so on, I think that you have to do this with the family. And as Mommy said, his kid speaks 4 languages. That's great. That's a great heritage that Momir can give to him, better than money. And if you can give this to your kids, I think it's very special. Although it's really hard to make such changes every year or every 2 years and change school and friends.
Momir.
I think our job, everyone knows I will take one sentence from basketball coach. Our job is to motivate the players every day in one way or the other way. But someone has to motivate us. And this is this support from the family. If someone has a family, if not, this is different. It's important. And this is, as I said also before at the beginning of this meeting, for me, it's important that my family is with me, that we find our place where it's not important how big is place. It's our place where one room we are together, and I have to be satisfied. And this support, what comes from family, from heart, empathy, this is most important for me. I think also for everyone, because our job, it's one day you can win, but you can also lose. And as we know, at the end of the day, when we lose the match, we stay alone, or maybe with our assistant coaches. But if you come home, you need some support, and I think this is the best way how we can manage this with our family. It's with us. This is absolutely normally. I think also that the kids can go everywhere now, international school. I think this is also one way how we can find a solution that also to changes. We were thinking also to stay here now in Germany after Wetzlar, but if comes something new, we will go completely together and change. If it's, I don't know, the other country, not Germany, my son will go and my family will go with me, and that's it, I think.
Are you in Serbia now, Momir?
No, I'm in Germany. I'm in Wetzlar.
Okay.
I'm in Wetzlar. He goes in school, 7 months, 8 months, learn Germany. It's going better and better for him. Before we were in Hungary, also Hungarian language, English. Now it's both English and Germany in this school, and then we can manage like this. It's good, really, for him, honestly.
Nice.
Great, guys. Thank you very much. I think beside with the other topics. It's always nice to go to other topics as well. But I think we all said the same, that it's really challenging to work outside, but it's as well you learn a lot. But in the end, it's Carlos Ortega told it to me when he was in Barcelona. He said, we all deal with the same problems. Wherever you are, you have the same problems on another scale, and the grass is not always greener on the other side. That's what you learn as well when you are abroad. And it's important to have the family, to have your support system, and to be happy where you are, and hopefully to stay there a long time. But maybe some people have other Ziele, other focuses. Yes. Thank you very much for your Friday morning. Well, have a great weekend. Hopefully, next week is international break. No, then it's a little bit less stress, and hopefully I can count back on you, and maybe we get another French guy to see some French perspectives. would be nice, and to talk about handball topics. Thanks again.
You guys, was really interesting.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.